everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I've got an explosive one for you with the most explosive early game commanders. Let's jump into it. So all of these commanders are 2 or less mana, and yeah, Kinnan Bonded Prodigy should have been a lot more mana than that when it was made. This is a crazy explosive commander that is absolutely deadly, and if I see you playing it, Eddie, I am targeting you right now, okay? Not just Eddie, but anyone else. This is an insane commander. This is a commander that, once it comes out, it is probably already game over, even though it is like turn 2. A 2/2 human druid for 2 mana in Simic. Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced, and by paying 7 mana in total in Simic, go the top 5 cards of your library, put a non-human creature card from among them on the battlefield, the rest of them your library in random order. Now, here's the thing. It didn't even need that part. It didn't need the mana sink for you to say, oh, this is a crazy, explosive early game commander. No. Just literally being like, oh, okay, 2 mana, give me an additional mana on all of my non-land permanents, tapping for mana. Yeah, that is absolutely insane. Crazy times. It goes so incredibly quickly. I mean, your opponents are going to be going so incredibly quickly with this one, and there are so many cards that work well with it. I mean, one of the OG cards, Birds of Paradise Bop, yeah, it is a great turn 1 play. It's like, okay, cool, I play this, I play Kinnan turn 2, oh, this taps for 2 on turn 2 now. A 0/1 bird with flying that costs a single green mana, tap at 1 mana of any color. Again, famously, Bolt the Bird. This is the bird in that phrase. But yeah, basically, you get this out, and then all of a sudden, you're like, oh yeah, just a low the ground mana dork that helps me fix my mana pretty perfectly, and it taps for 2 on turn 2. Speaking of which, I mean, everything can tap for 2 now with Crypt with Right. Get this in play early and effectively, enchant for 2 mana. Creature control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. Now all of your creatures tap for mana. Again, just picture this play, okay? All right, turn 1 bop. Turn 2, your commander, you drop a land turn 2, and then you also tap your, Birds of Paradise for this on turn 2. So all of a sudden, on your next turn, I mean, even just with that, and you could have put out more mana dorks, have even more mana, let's just say, but still, now Kinnan's going to tap for mana as well, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, I've got like 7 mana if I play another land. Awesome, on turn 3. And again, if that same turn 2 play happened, I was like, okay, Llanowar Elves and Mystic Elves, just all the different kinds of elves, essentially, right? You could be like, oh yeah, I'm at like 9 mana on turn 3. You can see why this gets crazy. I mean, even more crazy, though, is just literally Basalt Monolith. You don't even need anything else. You need, like, your commander and this, and you're like, okay, cool, I win. Basalt Monolith's an artifact for 3, doesn't untap during untap step, taps for 3 mana, pay 3 untap it. Very famous combo piece for many things, but yeah, with Kinnan, this is just, okay, I tap for 4 instead of 3. Oh, great, cool, I can tap for 4. I pay 3 to untap this. Cool, I netted 1 mana, and I do it again, and again, and again. Infinite colorless mana. Rules lawyers out there, yes, I know it's not infinite, but a trillion, whatever. Okay, a trillion colorless mana, and all of a sudden, you probably win. You've got ways to win from there. If you got ways to convert that mana, then yeah, you can just infinitely utilize your commander's ability as well and get all the things off the top. Like this lovely thing, Murkfiend Leech. Even if you're not going infinite this is just an insane value for you. A 4/4 for 5 mana in Simic. Other green creatures, other blue creatures get ++1. Cool, that doesn't matter. I mean, it's a nice little pump effect, but what matters is untap all green and or blue creatures you control during each of the player's untap step. That's all your creatures, basically, and you're untapping them like Seedborn Muse style. Obviously, Seedborn Muse is very good with this as well, of course. But yeah, being able to go, okay, my turn, untap, normally. Your turn, untap, not normally. Next player's turn, untap. Next player's turn, untap. I get basically 4 times the amount of mana, essentially. Like, extra, 3 times, basically. But yeah, I get so much more mana that I can utilize thanks to my commander on all these turns with all my mana dorks, all the things. And I can utilize that mana. Again, I'm never short on something to utilize that mana for because my commander has that ability that I can dump into. So, yeah, Kinnan is insanely good and insanely explosive. And Eddie, I'm coming for you. Moving on, a very different kind of commander, but still incredibly explosive, and one that's gotten more explosive over the years, Magda, Brazen, Outlaw. When this one first came out, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's like a cool concept, right? And then Treasures just kept taking over Magic. It's like, oh my gosh, Magda? Yeah, probably going to be targeting that player. A 2/1 Dwarf Berserker for 2 mana and red. Other dwarves you control get +1/+0. Whenever a dwarf you control becomes tapped, create treasure token. Oh, okay, that, was a bit, limited at first. Now it's a bit less limited in what it can do these days, but what really isn't limited at all is sacrifice 5 treasures to rely for an artifact or dragon card, put that on the battlefield, then shuffle your library, just tutoring out whatever artifact, whatever dragon you want, doesn't matter the mana value, all of a sudden you're just like, oh yeah, I get out this incredibly powerful dragon. Or like a 2-card combo, most likely, but still, my incredibly powerful dragon, or incredibly powerful artifact creature, or whatever it is, just game-ending card super early because you've got so many effective ways to make treasures these days super quickly. And you can get out this crazy thing. Not with Magda, but, you want to get it out. Yeah, Zorn is a weird looking thing. Anyways, a 3-2 elemental for 3 mana. That mouth on top is just very unnerving. For 3 mana, is that like an extra arm too? I don't know. Anyways, for 3 mana in red, you create 1 or more treasure tokens. You create one of those tokens plus additional one. We've got a lot of ways to make a lot of treasures, get extra value out of them. And yeah, again, it only takes 5 treasures, and we've gotten so many ways to make them now to get to that, hey, tutor out whatever you want. And you could tutor out if you want to get crazy, like a roaming throne. Cool. 4/4 golem for 4. It's an artifact. It has ward 2 for some reason. Enters battlefield as a creature type. Dwarf. Yeah, I guess dwarf is probably what you choose. Or berserker. Either one. Doesn't really matter. Probably dwarf. The trigger ability of another creature controlled of the chosen type triggers at a time. Basically, doubling up Magda's triggers. Have fun with that. Maskwood Nexus. Yeah, you can go tutor this one out. Again, if you're set up in a way where you're like, okay, I've got a bunch of creatures in play. Necessarily not all, dwarves, essentially. But now they are. Because this says, hey, everything's basically a changeling. Creature controller, every creature type. The same as super creature cards you control. Creature cards you own that are on the battlefield. Which means that your library has all basically changelings now, too. You can also pay 3 and tap to make a changeling. That being said now, because again, all your creatures in play are dwarves, when they're tapped, you get treasures. But also, all your creatures in your library are dragons, meaning ipso facto, you get all of your creatures to be tutorable with your commander as well. See, Maskwood Nexus, one of the coolest design cards of all time. Please, Wizards, make this into a commander itself. 5 color, please. Please. I had an episode on that. My Perfect Commander, make sure you check that out. That being said, yeah, crazy good card with this. Or how about Stormkiln Artist when it comes to actually just like artifact production? It is a dwarf. It's a dwarf right there. A 2/2 dwarf shaman for 4 mana in red. +1/+0 for each artifact you control. Cool. More importantly, though, Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, you get a treasure token. So yeah, when you're just normally doing your things throughout the game, you're also getting additional treasures from this. Plus whenever it taps too. That being said, you could just go like, oh yeah, turn probably like 4, maybe, like, with making treasures just like the normal way and go, okay, Blightsteel Colossus. Yeah, I kind of like took the nuance out of it. 11/11 Golem for 12 mana, Trample, Infect, Indestructible. Just sometimes the simplest, solution is the best solution. You're like, oh yeah, okay, got my treasures out, Magda out. Yeah, okay, turn 4 comes around. I probably had enough treasures. I sacrifice them all. Get Blightsteel out. All right, good luck, opponents. Let's see if you can stop me from taking all of Infect. Good luck. Goodbye. And I probably should have mentioned this already, but if you are interested in any of these commanders, like Saffi Eriksdotter, or any of the cards I'm talking about, like the ones I'm going to bring up here in a little bit again, yeah, make sure you check out the card list link in the description below. Saffi is incredibly budget-friendly right now, just 59 cents for a 2/2 Human Scout for just 2 mana in Selesnya. Sacrifice Saffi. When target creatures put in a graveyard this turn, return that card to the battlefield. This is a very cool commander, one that you can utilize in a lot of cool ways, and of course in a lot of explosive, deadly, super early game winning ways too. If you don't know about Saffi, well, now you do. This is an incredibly deadly commander, and not just because Saffi has like a tiny little dagger right there. You're like, oh no, the dagger! It's like, no, don't worry about that. Worry about like when you start sacrificing Saffi and then getting it back again, and again, and again. And yeah, there's some crazy things you can do with this. Because, well, we've got other cards that bring back other cards, which bring back the same card, which bring back the card again, and you can see where this is going. Renegade Rallier is one of those, a 3/2 Human Warrior for just 3 mana, so again, low to the ground as well. I mean, it can start really setting you up some really early game wins with this. Enters the battlefield, a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn. Return target permanent card with converted mana cost 2 or less to your to the battlefield. Yeah, again, any permanent that you have hits the graveyard, including your commander, which you can freely sacrifice as long as there is a legal target in play, essentially, right? All of a sudden, you're like, oh, okay, cool. ETB, bring back Saffi. Cool. All right. Oh, Saffi, bring this back when it dies. Cool. All right. And how's it going to die? Well, Phyrexian Altar. Sure, why not? Artifact for 3, sacrifice a creature, had 1 mana of any color. Yeah, again, infinite mana of any colors. Rules Lord's out there, trillion mana, whatever it is. Okay, all your colors, trillion mana each. You're going to be able to win from there, hopefully. If you can't win from there, what are you doing? Or you can just win right away with, like, a blasting station. There you go. Artifact for 3. Tap, sacrifice a creature, one avatar creature or player. On top of that, whenever any creature comes out of play, untap it. So, yeah, basically, infinite tap on tap, pinging everything down. All of your opponent's creatures, more importantly, their faces, are gone. They're all gone. This is just a free sacrifice out that says I win the game. Basically, Goblin Bombardment kind of in that way. That being said, of course, I mean, Karmic Guide, yet another way to do this. A little more expensive. Oh no, 5 mana. Yeah, you can get there. You can get there quite quickly, and you can win very quickly with this too. 2/2, Flying Pro Black, Echo for 5 mana. Don't worry about that. Enters the battlefield, turn target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So again, hey, Saffi. Say Karmic Guide comes back. Okay. Karmic Guide. Say Saffi comes back. Okay. Again and again and again. You see how this is working. Or Revel Arc. Again, if you want to bring back other things too. A 4/3 Flying Elemental for 5 mana. Leaves the battlefield. Turn to 2 target creature cards with power 2 less. You're good to the battlefield. So you can actually do some really weird combos with this too, where you're bringing back other creatures at the same time. You've got other kinds of effects with those too. You get those, again, a trillion times. Whatever number you want, essentially. So yeah, Saffi is a combo engine, essentially. There are so many different ways to combo with it. In so many effective, quick ways to just finish out the game in absolutely no time and steamroll your opponents with your explosive turn. Next up, though, a newer explosive command. We've got Hasheton, Scarab's Fist. My goodness, this just burst onto the scene so quickly. I believe it was the most popular commander by a good margin, actually, out of all of Aether Drift, and for good reason. This is a 1/3 zombie wizard for 2 mana, and I was going to say Orzhov. That's what you cost, it costs to cost it, essentially, but it is an Esper commander because it has... Whenever you discard a creature card, you may pay 3 mana in blue. If you do, create a tap tokens copy of that card, except a 4/4 zombie. And all of a sudden, you're like, okay, cool. Hey, I can get a copy of any of my creatures? Oh, no, it's only a 4/4. Who cares? For 3 mana? Yeah, this is going to go well. Because there are so many great, well, hey, all right, turn 1, set myself up. Turn 2, get this into play. Turn 3, the game is probably over. Plays that your opponents are going to be like, yeah, okay, shuffle up. We lost. Next game, we're targeting you super quickly. Hopefully I've got some removal for that right away, or a counterspell or something, because if not, we're going to lose again. Yeah, this commander is super explosive, super deadly, and actually super budget-friendly. Again, just 86 cents. They did deck tech on this one. It's pretty budget-friendly as well. Make sure you check that out, too. Also budget-friendly, Tireless Tribe. Yeah, Putrid Imp is like $3 or so, but Tireless Tribe is a 1-mana discard outlet for you that is just 65 cents. Or if you want the foil version, $21. Wow. 1/1 Nomad, I think it's a human Nomad errated these days, for a single white mana. Discard a card from your hand, +0/+4 until end of turn. Again, all you care about, you don't really care about. I mean, I guess it's nice that it can be a blocker for you, sure. But it's a free discard outlet. You literally get this in play, and all of a sudden you can just discard whatever you want for free, which then can trigger your commander. You can be like, oh, okay, cool. Pay 3 mana, make a copy of it. That's a 4/4. Gross, deadly, amazing. Tortured Existence. Speaking of gross, deadly, and amazing, that art. An enchantment for a single black mana. Choose discard a creature card for a single black mana. Return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. This is just like a loop that you can do. You're like, okay, I discard this creature. I pay 3. I make a copy of it. I get another creature back. I discard this creature. I do that. You can just keep getting back the same creatures that you want to keep getting more and more copies of them, which can be absolutely gross, absolutely deadly, absolutely disgusting. Or you can just finish off the game super early with, like, Avacyn, Angel of Hope. Wow. I mean, you don't finish off the game, I guess, but you're like, hey, 8/8, Flying Vigilance, Indestructible for 8 mana. Other permanents you control have Indestructible. Mean, gross, rude, disgusting, insane. Yeah, all your things are super protected, and you've got an 8/8 Flying Vigilant Angel in play, too. Yeah, good luck, opponents. Or, just actually really finish up. The game is probably just over if you do this. Jin-Gitaxias, Core Augur. Yeah, a turn 3 Jin-Gitaxias Core Augur is just rude. Just absolutely rude and mean and just disgusting. A 5/4 with Flash for Raider, for 10 mana. Oh no! If I make a copy of it that's a zombie, it's only a 4/4. I lost 1 power. Oh darn. At the beginning of your end step, draw 7 cards. Each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7. You literally just drew 7 cards. Your opponent's impending doom is looking at them, and they're like, oh, unless I can get rid of that, I have no hand. On turn 3. Okay, yeah, that's game over. Your opponents have no hand. You've got all the hand you could ever want, and you're going to be able to win the game from there. Of course, outside of these legendaries, I mean, populate effects can be insane as well. Yeah, luckily, Hasheton's not like, and it's not legendary. It doesn't say that, you know, unlike other things. But yeah, Nesting Dovehawk is a very good card. We have combat on your turn, populate. Here's the thing. It's kind of funny if you, like, you know, discard this, make a copy of it, and then you're like, okay, populate that. Cool. And then I get more of those. Awesome. And on top of that, whenever a creature token is battlefield I control, I get counters to this. This can become a threat too. But what matters is literally just, okay, when I start getting other creatures in play, I can then start populating those. If I get Gary in play, and stop, you know, just to stop the game right then and there, because your opponents are gone, because you're going to start populating Gary, Grave Virtue Asphodel, for those who don't know, and be able to just keep draining your opponents more and more and more and more and more and more with more devotion. Yeah, Hasheton is disgusting. Hasheton is gross. You can just win the game with like a Jenga Taxis, but you can also just go like, oh, your impending doom is coming very shortly because of Gary. Next up, I'm pretty sure Summit Wizards heard some people out there, maybe myself, not making fun of Mono White, but like complaining that Mono White was too weak for such a long time. They're like, you know what? Let's step it up. Light-Paws, Emperor's Voice, a 2/2 Fox Advisor for 2 mana in white. Whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast, you may search for life for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to that aura, and with a different name than an aura than you control. Put that card on the battlefield, attach Light-Paws, Emperor's Voice, then shuffle. I just forget about the part where it's like, different than a name you control. It's like, well, yeah, I'm playing Commander, so that doesn't matter at all. It makes sense for other formats, but in Commander, it's like, there aren't multiple. Anyways, being able to just go, hey, you play something, and you tutor out, you literally go get whatever you want at the same value or less, and you put it into play. Yeah, that tells you something about auras and how undervalued they are in Commander, where it's like, yeah, that is a strategy that isn't typically utilized, so to make it a utilized strategy with this one, they gave you an absurd effect. I mean, just think about that for, like, creatures. Like, hey, whenever you play a creature spell, you just go tutor out whatever creature you want that mana value or less. No, they would not print. I mean, they might print that. They probably will print that in the future at some point, but they wouldn't print it at 2 mana. So yeah, it is super low the ground commander that is a super insane repeat tutor for you. So much value to be had. You can just demolish your opponents in absolutely no time with this. Especially because of a card like Flickering Ward. I mean, this card is super weird, super old, but super cool. An aura for a single white mana enchant creature enters the battlefield, choose a color, protects with the chosen color, doesn't remove Flickering Ward. By paying a white, you bounce it back to its owner's hand. Here's the thing, you probably shouldn't say white anyways on this, because it will get rid of all your other auras still, so don't do that, unless you really need protection from white for some reason. That being said, being able to bounce it back to your hand is insane, because you're like, okay, I play it. Awesome, attach Light-Paws, cool, I go tutor out whatever I want. Alright, I put that into play, attach Light-Paws. Okay, I bounce this, I replay it. I do it again, and again, and again. And you see where this is going and why it's absolutely insane. You just keep repeat tutoring things out. Like, you know, I don't know, Ethereal Armor, sure. Or for a single white mana enchant creature, +1 for each enchantment you control, it has first strike. That is an insanely powerful effect. Insanely good. So good that I actually built a deck around it in Standard a long time ago. I love you, Gladecover Scout. Yeah, basically Boggles in Standard. It was fun! Mono black, I took you down a couple times, but you took me down more often than that. That being said, being able to just go, okay, now my commander can hit for like a stupid amount. By the way, also, I have all that glitters as well. +1 for each artifact and enchantment you control. Basically another version in this deck of Ethereal Armor. And now your commander is hitting for even more. There's also double strike effects, of course. Your commander can hit for, like, commander damage, 21 plus, very easily, very quickly with a commander deck like this again, because you can tutor for what you need. I mean, imagine just playing If That Glitters and tutoring into a Spirit Mantle, +1 protection from creatures. Hey, +1 is nice, but pro creatures means I can't be blocked. So yeah, I'm coming through. Also, any kind of creatures that have targeting effects, you can't target either. So have fun getting through on your opponents. And of course, other like janky old school cards like Shield of Duty and Reason. I love this card in my SRAM deck. There's also another one that's pro black, pro red, but this is pro green, pro blue. You can very easily get pro like most things. So your opponents can't target your commander either. And then it's just protected, and then it's coming through and unblockable and all these lovely things. Yeah, a commander that lets you just keep tutoring what you exactly need each time is absolutely insane and explosive. Finally, though, yeah, another mono-white commander made the list, surprisingly, right? Oswald Fiddlebender. Now, you might be like me, and you might build an incredibly janky deck around this one, where it's like Crackdown Construct, because that's funny. Yeah, it is quite a funny kind of miscellaneous deck. But yeah, make sure you check that episode out on that one. That being said, also an incredibly explosive commander. So this is one where, yeah, if you're playing against it, you're probably going to target it unless it's like my deck, which is like, hey, no, this is like a jokey, like, Crackdown Construct deck. Like, I don't care. It's still a combo. Yeah, like a janky combo, sure, but yeah, it's a combo. I'm coming after you. Okay, I guess. Anyways, Oswald Fiddlebender is a 2/2 Gnome Artificer for 2 mana in white. Pay a single white mana tap, sacrifice an artifact, search life for an artifact card, mana value equal to 1 plus the sacrifice artifact's mana value. Put on the battlefield, then shuffle. Activate only as a sorcery. Here's the thing. Yeah, this is a crazy good commander. Again, we already talked about how tutoring is insane on a commander, and repeat tutoring is insane on a commander, and tutoring that is super low to the ground is insane. This is basically like a pod chain commander on a stick for artifacts. And if you didn't know, artifacts are probably the most broken thing in Magic. And so having a commander that can just keep tutoring you them out in order and get you the right ones that you need to win, it's crazy. I mean, we already talked about Basalt Monolith, but hey, it's back. I mean, Kinnan, yeah, I can just combo with it basically right away. So sure, Kinnan obviously is probably the most explosive low-to-the-ground commander of all time. That being said, Oswald, quite good as well. Doesn't combo with Basalt Monolith on its own, but it can go get you all the pieces that you need. I mean, also get you, like, Rings of Brighthearth. You sacrifice, like, any 2 mana rocks. You're like, okay, Basalt Monolith, and then I get Rings of Brighthearth by sacrificing just, like, regular mana rocks, essentially. Cool. I get them, or anything else at 2, I should say. Rings of Brighthearth, artifact for 3. Whenever you activate an ability, if it isn't a mana ability, you may pay 2. If you do, copy that ability, choose the targets of the copy. This one can confuse newer players. They're like, how does that copy with Basalt Monolith? Well, let me explain to you, okay? It doesn't double up the actual mana for tapping, it doubles up the untapping, meaning that you're paying in total 5 mana to untap Basalt Monolith twice, because the regular 3 plus the 2 to copy it, and Basalt Monolith now can tap for 3 each time, meaning that you tap twice for 6, you untap twice for 5, you're netting 1 mana. And you do that again and again and again, basically another roundabout way essentially to get to infinite, rules lawyers out there a trillion, mana essentially, so there you go. You got all that mana, you can win from there. Or even if you aren't going infinite with this, I mean, just go get, like, the One Ring, which is an insanely powerful card that they definitely pushed way too far. Ledger artifact for 4, indestructible, enters the battlefield if you cast a gain protection from everything until your next turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life for each burden counter on it, tap a burden counter on it, draw a card for each burden counter on it. Yeah, being able to get all the cards that you could ever need and basically having very little downside to this, or even like no downside when you actually eventually sacrifice this or just bounce it back to your hand anyway. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy and insane. Definitely a game changer. Next up, Unwinding Clock. How about untap all artifacts you control to each other player's up-tap step? You can even go a step further. There are certain ways, obviously, to make Oswald into an artifact, too. So you're like, okay, Liquid Metal Torque. Yeah, make Oswald into an artifact. Sweet. All right, you untap as well. I can do things on your turns. But even if you're not doing that, just going, okay, I've got these insanely powerful artifacts that I have out in play, and they all untap. Good for me. And, of course, Oswald, being able to tutor out again Liquid Metal Torque or whatever. Cool, now it untaps, too. Good luck, opponents, with all this explosive value. And with that, this episode is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts are on this episode. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.